What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today, special episode, Everett. Today it is episode number 60. That's right. You got 2 months of content worth of us. All right. You got 2 months of us steadily moving up in the world. We are 2 subscribers away from 100. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it and people unsubscribe because that'd be fucked up. But we are 2 away from 100. And then once we get to 100, we just 10x from there. And then we 10x from there, and then we 10x from there. Okay. 10X. Everything is all about the 10x. So YouTube, we've seen a good amount of growth recently with the shorts. Some of those shorts doing better there than TikTok. So yeah, check us out on the tube and the talk. All right. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get in the episode. College football got to start off. A very weird weekend for me. But we're moving on to next week. And, I was a little pessimistic the other day, but today was a new day and I woke up and I see a different light. So, okay. I'm about to give either some loser talk or some extremely negative Ohio State fan talk up for you to decide. This is kind of how I was thinking,
you are the most
48
negative
hours ago.
You are the most negative sports fan I know in my life, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Ohio State fandom has just infected me, but yeah. So based on how we got bullied 3 times over the past few years by Bama, Oregon, and Michigan, I kind of expect perfection in terms of running the ball and stopping the run for Ohio State if they ever want to start dominating teams like that ever. So that's where I was coming from, especially after the Oregon game. I was kind of like, okay, we might be fine. But after Michigan, then I was like, okay, shit. Now we got to fucking do something about it.
Is Sean Clifford still starting for Penn State, or is it the freshman?
Yes, he Drew Aller might be. I don't know, actually, to be honest. I do not know. I would prefer Sean Clifford.
I know, and that's why I'm saying that, because I feel like if you say Drew Allen, right? That's the 5-star Aller. Yeah. Okay. If that kid plays, I think that it doesn't mean, it's not meaning that Penn State's going to win, but it means that they have a much better chance to make it competitive than with Sean Clifford.
So last week, Sean Clifford, Drew Aller had 2 attempts. Yeah. Sean Clifford starting. Last week, he had a nice little bounce back game. But I'm going to be honest, I guarantee you right now, this is going to be the best Penn State team Ohio State faces all season. But I don't give a fuck. They still need to dominate.
They will probably only face them one time.
We're not getting to the preview. We're not getting to the preview yet. Okay. So this year, when I'm looking at Ohio State, they really struggled to run the ball. I mean, they stopped the run last week, but I mean, Iowa can't run. But they really struggled to run the ball last week, and that really concerns me when they have to go up against a real front seven. Iowa's a really good defense.
Michigan.
Yeah, and Iowa's a really good defense, but it's their offense put Ohio State in the red zone multiple times, and it's that won't happen against
Penn State, against Michigan. Well, maybe with Penn State,
but maybe Bama, not going to happen with them. So yeah, I was very concerned about the run game, but this might be a down year when looking at the college football landscape as a whole, when you consider how good the best teams in college football are this year compared to teams in past years. In my opinion, Ohio State may not need to be perfect to win a natty this year, because there is no team that's truly dominant in all 4 phases. Or let me correct myself. There's no team where it's they're extremely dominant running and passing, and then they also have a really good run defense. No one has 3 of the 4 things, Michigan, really questionable pass game right now with JJ.
Yeah.
Very questionable with them. Bama, their pass defense is pretty fucking shit, which matches up very well with Ohio State. Keep that in mind. And then Georgia, their offense, just in general. I don't know. Like their biggest positive on offense are their tight ends because like they weren't really run blocking well. At least when I was watching the Missouri game, I haven't watched much of them since. But like there's some major flaws on a lot of teams, and I feel like Ohio State might have the least amount of flaws compared to those other teams. And Ohio State still has the best passing offense in the country. Like that's just not even up for debate. But I think their defense is very up there too. That's what I want to point out. That's what I want to point out now. So Ohio State preview. Of course, we have to look at this through the lens of Michigan, of course. So real quick, Everett, when Michigan beat Penn State 41-17 at home, okay?
Now, is this going to be a score comparison?
Well, Ohio State hasn't played them yet, but not really. But Michigan at halftime was up 16-14. So closely at halftime, and in the second half, just absolutely fucking hammered them. So, okay, Michigan in that game ran for 418 yards.
Okay.
So that to me is a dominant.
I'm acting like 418 yards. It's not that much. It didn't.
418 rushing
418 yards is a lot. It's a lot of rushing
yards.
It's a lot of rushing yards
against Penn State, who at the time was a.
To be fair, Blake Corum is one of, if not the best running back in college football this year.
He is the best running back in college football.
So I mean,
I've given that up. I can't believe there was a smidge of me off season who thought Trevion was better. Trevion has not really taken a step up this year, but okay, we're not talking about Trevion in this preview. So they ran for 418 yards, and JJ only threw for 145 yards, and Michigan still put up 41 points. So like they have the best run game in the country, and that really concerns me because like Ohio State, like yeah, they've looked really good so far. I've been really impressed with their run game, but Michigan in my opinion is the best run game in the country, and they got to face them at the end of the year. And Michigan's being able to put up 40-piece Penn State on a game where their players get motivated. Michigan, that's another big thing. They play down to their competition's level. Okay. Like they only get up for big games. Okay. I really believe that. I don't know what, I think that's a coaching Harbaugh issue. Okay. That's on Harbaugh. Okay. His players aren't up for it every week, in my opinion. It's so weird how it's like you beat Maryland by 7 and then you just like 30-piece Penn State. Why? Because they gave a fuck that week in practice, I think. I'm probably wrong, but shit, I'm a man of opinions and I'll stick to it. So yeah, Michigan, they also went 11 for 17 on third down. So when I look at how Michigan did, for me to feel confident in Ohio State moving forward, they better run up and down Penn State's ass like it's a fucking Pee Wee football team ever, okay? Penn State is allowing 140 rushing yards per game this season. A lot of that was inflated from the Michigan game for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm actually expecting 200 rushing yards at the minimum out of Ohio State. 250 would make me be like, okay, all right, we got a good rushing team, because I'm also expecting 250 passing yards or 300. I'm expecting that too. I think Penn State's got a solid pass defense. I have no fucking
pass yards allowed 232.9 per game.
I don't know in relation how good that is, but for reference, Ohio State gives about 149. So
yeah,
I mean, shit, who knows?
I would say that's roughly around average for pass yards. That's about what it is. It's about average.
Yeah. So next, yeah. But last thing, just I really want to see the run game do like the pass game. Like CJ's had his up and downs. Like I also really want to see CJ step the fuck up in a big time game. I know Penn State's not a big time game anymore because they lost to Michigan. So Ohio State will get absolutely zero credit for this win, no matter what happens. It's like a lose-lose situation for Ohio State. Literally, there could be no good outcome, like in terms of the public eye after this game, and like my eye too. But yeah, I'm expecting 250 rushing yards and CJ to grow a pair of nuts. Okay, let's move on to the Ohio State defense, which is I've been just praising over the whole year. Everett, you know that.
Yeah,
and a lot of like not media people, but just online SEC fans, like, are just being like, oh, Ohio State fucking sucks. They're gonna get shit on. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay. On offense, Penn State against Michigan, they only got around 260 total yards in the game, threw for 140, ran for 111, but 62 yards came on one run. So take that away, and they only had 49 rushing yards on 21 carries. Okay. So they stopped the run, shut it down. Penn State, we know fucking Sean Clifford, their guy Singleton, their running back, they got to get him rolling. And if he doesn't get rolling, the whole offense is shut down, collapses, done. So that's the key to the game. Okay. And like, if Ohio State shuts down the run and Penn State's got to throw on like 3rd and 8, well, I'm expecting some 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
That is why I'm saying that if Aller comes in, this might be a different game, especially if they prepped for Penn State in the way that they have with just stopping the run.
And also, like, one of Ohio State's kryptonites are backup quarterbacks. Yeah. They like backup. I don't know. It's like a thing in college. Like, if the backup's pretty good, low key, it fucking works. And I don't know why. They just go out slinging. Tulane backup came in. So backup magic. Backup magic, Everett. So
backup.
Like, it low key, Drew Aller comes in. That's like the best thing for Penn State to do. But okay, Ohio State's defense much better under Jim Knowles. And I want to see them.
Sorry, his name, please.
Him Knowles. And I want to see them dominate a worthy opponent, even though Penn State isn't worthy anymore. So for the
still upper end of the Big Ten, still upper end of the Big Ten, to be fair.
For the defense standards, though, I want to hold Penn State to under 80 rushing yards and under 200 passing yards. Okay, 280 total on the day. Okay, 200 passing might be generous, but I know that, like, Ohio
I feel like that. I feel like that is very. I feel like that's just. I know college football is a lot different than the NFL, but I still feel like that's very generous. 250 passing yards and under 80 rushing yards. Like, I feel like that's pretty generous of an Ohio State fan to say for limitation.
Are you saying that it should be less or more? Wait.
I'm saying that it should be lower. I'm saying generous as in you're giving them too much credit.
Well, you should want less than that. I mean, they yeah, you are right, but like, I still need to be fully convinced that they're great. Okay. And I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, okay. I'd say those are my measures. 80 rushing. And like, it's more so the like how many TFLs and like 1 yard gains they get. Like, if over 50% of the runs are 1 yard gains or TFLs, then I'll be really happy. Like, I at the end of the day, that's what matters. Like, I couldn't care what the actual yardage at the end of the day is. I just want to see a lot of stuffs. I want to see a lot of 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 11. Okay. That's what I want to see, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, that's my Ohio State Union. That's a preview. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. All right. Okay.
All right.
Other college football games that are a little fun though. I have one that you'll really like.
Let me give mine. I know which one you're about to talk about. Okay. Last week, I gave my game of the week, Syracuse and Clemson. You were surprised, but you gave me a nice little golf clap to being out of the norm for game of the week. My game just so happened to be one of the best games of the week.
It was the game of the week.
I'm going for back-to-back weeks. My game of the week this week, you would think I'm going to say Cincy and UCF. Well, that is a game that I'm paying much attention to, and I know that's probably what you're about to talk about. My game of the week, Oklahoma State, K-State. It's my game of the week this week.
So that was actually the game that I was about to talk to you about. I had Cincy UCF written down, but I wanted to talk about Oklahoma State, Kansas State. One thing I found very interesting about this game, Everett, Oklahoma State just came off in a big time emotional win over Texas last week.
You know what my response is to emotional wins.
Kansas State is rebounding after a loss. So just when I heard that stat alone, I was like, Kansas State. Yep. But also, Kansas State is a minus 1.5-point favorite in this game. Vegas is begging you to take Oklahoma State, Everett. Kansas State's winning this game. Kansas State's winning this game by 2 points or more. Guarantee that. This is reverse psychology on Vegas. They're begging for you to take Oklahoma State.
I agree. I agree with that. By the way, both of these teams have lost to TCU. Very recently, in fact. Back-to-back weeks of TCU lost. K-State lost last week to TCU. The week before that, Oklahoma State lost to TCU. With that said, I've said this before. I saw it this year.
Playing West Virginia this week on the road.
That's light work for them.
We'll see.
West Virginia. I mean, if TCU loses that, chalk them up. They're crashing through the rest of the season. But I've seen it this year with us, with Southern Miss coming off of our K-State win. I've seen it with the Vikings. I've seen it with numerous different, like the Suns. That happen with the Suns too. Like coming off an emotional win, you never prepare properly the next week. It is few and far between that I've seen a team come off an emotional high and come in the next week and play very well and play to win and win the game.
100 So yeah, give me Kansas State.
Minus 1.5 food.
They're begging you to take Oklahoma State there by giving them the points, And
I mean, I'm also obviously cheering on K-State to win this game. Makes us look better.
Of course. But okay. Moving on to a more direct opponents that Tulane will face later in the year. 6-1, the 20th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats, going to UCF.
UCF coming off a loss to ECU, by the way.
Did not know that. Who did Cincinnati lose to this year?
They lost to week 1 NC State. Or no, Arkansas. I think it was Arkansas.
No, yeah, but this game, Everett, what do you think the spread is?
So, I mean, I'm looking at it.
Okay. Well, it's a pick-up.
Now, you want
that Vegas has zero respect for Cincinnati.
Do you want?
You would expect Cincinnati to be favored just based off how everyone's been on their balls all year.
The media.
I'm talking about the person who has not watched a fucking game of this, aka me. You would assume Cincinnati, they were in the playoff last year. You just expect them to be favorited against any opponent in their
you want my little breakdown of that though?
But yeah, no, let's hear it.
See, Cincinnati, just for starters, Cincinnati lost their number 1 wide receiver, their starting quarterback, both their starting corners, all of the draft. They had some other talent, I think, go too, but I don't think that they're as significant. They do have a all-star linebacker, possible, I'll call it whatever, all AAC linebacker, all-American linebacker this year. I will give them that. But outside of that, they really don't have much. And over their last couple games, snuck past SMU was slamming them this past week. Barely snuck past SMU by 2 points, which, by the way, SMU had several starters opt out of the season for the transfer portal. They're not playing at all. They opt out. Barely beat USF by 4 points. Tulsa, they win by 10. Not that big of a deal. Whatever. UCF has been slamming people all this year, minus ECU. ECU beat them last week. It's in the bounce house. I think that it's like the media thinks that Cincinnati is this amazing team because of last year, because of the way they've been terrible this year. They're 6-1 because they've been playing some really easy teams, and even with that, they've been struggling versus those teams. They barely beat USF. They barely beat SMU. Now they're playing a team that is coming off one of its 2 losses this season. They're angry. It's at home. It's homecoming for UCF. They're playing Cincy at homecoming. It's going to be a packed stadium. UCF has looked amazing this year outside of last week. I think it's a no-brainer. UCF's going to win this game.
Well, I'm not sure about no-brainer.
Mark my words. No-brainer. UCF's winning this game.
All right. You're going on the line saying UCF. Okay. I am very curious if you being a part of Tulane has any influence on it, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about that. Yeah, UCF lock. Kentucky, Tennessee, I don't really care about this game, but I really want Tennessee to keep rolling because I think
I would like to see
Tennessee versus Ohio State in the college football playoff would be one of the most lit games ever. I think both those teams, it's the two best offenses, and I think just the way it matches up, it'd just be amazing to watch. So I'm rooting for Tennessee every week. I want them to be rolling. And then we got Michigan State at number 7, Michigan. Keep in mind, Michigan State 2-0 against Michigan the last few years under Mel Tucker. All right.
Are they actually?
Yes. So I guarantee you this will be the best Michigan State team you see all season. But I might also go on record to say that this will be the second or third at worst, because the Penn State game was good. Third best Michigan team you'll see all season will be playing in this game. At minimum, Ohio State game will be the best, but they're mad. They're angry. They're mad. They fucking hate Michigan State. Okay, so Michigan wants that shit. But I think Sparty will cover that plus 22, and it'll probably be like a tie game or close game at halftime. Then Michigan pulls out. But yeah, that's on college football. Unless you got anything.
I've got a little transition segment here for us. PFF's big board for the NFL draft was released. Their mid-season big board. So this is like their top 10 like projected picks, right? Like who they think is going to go top 10. Yeah. I want your reaction to this. And there's one little section in specific that you'll know immediately when I
do they also have team projections or just
no? It's just players. Like this is who their big board is. Like this is who they think
just
top 10 best players like in the draft, right? 1, Bryce Young. Okay. Right. 2, Will Anderson Jr. Right. Like that's okay. Like that's understandable. Right.
Love it.
3, Will Levis. 4, CJ Stroud. Okay. 5, Jalen Carter. I'll just give you their top 5, but that's the little section I was talking about. 3, Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky. 4, CJ Stroud, Ohio State. CJ Stroud's not even the second best quarterback in this draft.
That's ridiculous. Will Levis,
Mr. Sideways finger.
Well, I don't want to do this
in his coffee.
I think I might be making fun of Tua. But
let me just snap my finger in half real quick, and we can get a clip out of it.
It's just Will Levis. I mean, it's just like, guys, Kentucky. I'm really rooting for Tennessee to just 20.
You think so? So the dude that made this list, his name's Mike Renner. Do you think that he also is a connoisseur of mayo in his coffee, and that's why Will Levis is ranked so high?
I mean, Will Levis. I mean, what are we doing, guys? Like, what? I don't know. That's whack. There's no way. But hey. Hopefully, there's just the narrative for you that Ohio State gets a bias for not having NFL quarterbacks. But which quarterback has came from Kentucky, Everett?
Will Levis.
The hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen. That's literally it. Okay, that is it. So yeah, all right.
He rests in peace.
All right. Let's talk some NFL. So this week, change of plans.
Oh, they're back. Once an episode that the ambulances of Southern California, their finest, make an appearance.
So interesting. I had a worse record than Everett last week, so I'll be leading the NFL pick section. So I went 7-7 last week. Everett, you went
8-6.
8-6.
One win.
Hey, I mean, it might only be one game lead, but
it's a moral victory. It's a moral
so
victory.
Yeah, I'm now 59-49 on the season. What are you, Everett?
55-53. Okay. Closing in.
So yeah, well, quick little run through of all the games. Just gonna announce everything first. Bye week teams: Chiefs and the shittiest team in the NFL, the Chargers. Thursday night football, we got the Ravens at Buccaneers. Sunday, we got another London game. Broncos at Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not be watching that one. Sunday morning slate. Panthers at Falcons, Bears at Cowboys, Dolphins at Lions, Cardinals at Vikings, Raiders at Saints, Patriots at Jets, Steelers at Eagles in the afternoon, Titans at Texans, Commanders at Colts, Niners at Rams, Giants at Seahawks, Packers, Bills Sunday night, and Bengals at Browns Monday night. Okay. I want to talk about Thursday night game first, just because it's very interesting how this looks, which is kind of weird. Ravens 4-3, Bucs 3-4. I think
first time Brady has had a sub 500 record with the Bucs.
Well, first time he's had a sub 500 record since 2002, like at this point of the season.
Did not know that bit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So in this game, it's in Tampa. Everett, what do you think the spread is for this game?
Ravens minus 2.5.
Well, wow. It's Ravens minus 1.5. I'm gonna assume that you didn't look that up before, but I'm a little sussed out. That was a little eerily accurate, and I know that you looked up the.
I'm on top. Hey, I'm on top. I'm on top.
For
I'm
what
on top of it.
The picks were before the episode.
I'm on top of it.
I know you definitely saw it before, but yeah.
No, I did not actually.
Ravens
I did not
are favorited in Tampa, which I think 2 weeks ago even you probably would have thought this line would be like minus $3.5.
No, I don't agree with that.
Everett.
I don't. You want to know why I don't agree with that?
Okay, let's hear it.
Because Lamar Jackson 3 weeks ago was looking like the MVP frontrunner, slicing and dicing teams up and down the entire field. Like, yes, they lost to the Dolphins. Yes, they had a comeback loss to like the Jets, whoever it was. But Lamar Jackson himself was looking like the best player in the NFL for like those first 3 weeks.
You're on the Lamar train. I used to be the Lamar lover on the show, but okay.
I'm just saying 3 weeks ago.
I'm just too much of a Brady fanboy. But I'm just 3 weeks ago, I still think it would have been fucking. I don't think Vegas would have had Ravens favorited over the Bucs in Tampa. But shit has changed quickly. The Bucs might be really fucking bad. Okay, they might.
They are. They're stinkier than Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. If the Bucs lose this, they're going to be 3-5. So I'd like go so far as to say Bucs lock, but I don't know. Like if they lose this, like
Tom Brady pulling Avante Davis, Antonio Brown, you imagine Tom Brady?
I'm just not even gonna believe that they could ever be.
Can you imagine Tom Brady retiring at halftime the same way Antonio Brown did? He just throws his pads off. He's running off the field, just going like this on the sidelines.
Nah, Brady would never. But this is all. I'd go so far as say this is a must-win game for Tampa Bay in terms of team morale and getting their season back on track. Must-win game, Everett. That's what I gotta say. Okay. London game, Broncos, Jags. We're not talking about that. Sunday morning slate, Everett. We got your team, Cardinals at Vikings, 3-4 Cardinals. The new and improved D-Hop Cardinals versus 5-1 Vikings. You guys are 3.5-point favorites.
Oh yeah.
10 a.m. start time too, guys. Remember for West Coast, but it's not in prime time, so Kirk will be good in this game. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Or at least not bad.
So Arizona has lost the last 10 games that they have played against the Vikings in Minnesota. That means they have not won a game in Minneapolis since 1977. It has been almost 50 years since they won last.
Yeah, I'm not one to go against long streaks, but then again, you also creeps in the back of the mind, there's no way it keeps going.
Let me add this though.
Going.
Let me add to this.
I'm not saying I'm thinking that, but I'm saying
Let me finish.
I have thought of that before when other.
Oh no, I get it. Streaks are made to be broken.
Yeah,
I get that. They're made to be broken. But this one's not getting broken this weekend. And the reason I'm adding to that, the Vikings played the Cardinals last year in Arizona. The Vikings lost on a last-second missed field goal by Greg Joseph. They played against the Cardinals when they had Nuke, when they had Rondale Moore, when they had whoever else
the way
was
you're
on
presenting this. You're really making this dramatic. Holy shit!
The Vikings are about to go beat the living shit out of the Cardinals this week for some revenge. It's some ice cold revenge.
So revenge game. I wasn't aware of that. Arizona, they've been giving up just so many points per game this season. So I'm kind of expecting like a Jay Jettas, like a 30-point performance in fantasy.
Oh, Jay Jettas might drop 200 on Arizona's head on Brian Murphy.
I'm really expecting like 30 points. Yeah. I think it's going to be a big Vikings win. I'm with that. I think Cardinals, maybe they just Saints. I guess it's not really that like big of a win because the Saints suck.
Yeah, they also have lost to the Eagles, to the Seahawks.
But hey, Rams. If you lose this game, you can just say the Cardinals had 2-3 extra days of rest because they played on Thursday the week before. So you have a built-in excuse.
We also had a bye week though.
Oh, so never mind. No,
but then I'm just gonna say I'm gonna blame it on the bye week. We know on this show we hate bye weeks.
Okay, yeah.
But the Vikings
we could roll with that too. Okay, another game that is very, very interesting to me, Everett. Patriots at Jets.
Okay.
Patriots at Jets. Patriots are 3-4, Jets 5-2.
Bill Belichick's old stomping grounds.
Patriots 1.5-point favorites. I don't really give a shit. I'll tell my pick. I'm picking the Patriots in this game. And it's purely because there is no way that the Jets are actually going to start the season 6-2. I just refuse to believe it unless it actually happens. 6-2 Jets.
Well,
there's no
better start believing, buddy.
No, it's not happening. Bill owns the Jets. Patriots are going to win. If Bailey Zappi, hopefully they just have Zappi start the whole game. But
if they have Zappi start, Zappy hour might continue. If Mac Jones starts, it's a wash. That the game is done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for that. There's just no way.
Now
the Jets are going to go on to 6-2 in the past. We're going to be 3-5.
I would say also just want to add though, the Jets might have replaced Breece Hall with the next best option on the market in James Robinson. I know you're not big on James Robinson, but I think
he's pretty washed. Like the first couple games, he was all right, but the problem is first year he got ran into the dirt, and after his like 3 or 4 like 20 carry, 20 touch games, the dude. I mean, and even when he was getting those like 20 touch games, he doesn't have bursts. He's getting 2-3 yards.
But also the whole existence of the Jets' runs game perfectly correlates with the kind of player that James Robinson
is. Breece Hall was just like that dude though. Like,
yeah, no, I agree, but
I just think
you're now having
a big drop.
You're having James Robinson effectively hammer right up the middle. You're wearing down the trenches, and then letting Michael Carter go break free.
Well, I mean, you're talking like Michael Carter's the second coming of Le'Veon Bell. Like, okay, let's slow our roll here, Everett. I have to see it to believe it. I have to keep seeing it to believe it. I think the Pats are going to
win. Okay.
And it's just there's no way a Zach Wilson team is going to be 6-2 to start. There's no way. There's no way.
I still like to believe.
I think Zach Wilson. He hasn't lost as a starter yet. Still.
No, he hasn't. I still like to believe.
So I mean, there's just. I mean, shit. I mean, I was shitting on him all preseason.
I have too, but I still firmly believe if Zach Wilson didn't get hurt in the preseason and he played from week 1 instead of Joe Flacco, this team might have they might be 2-6, not 6-2.
But yeah, that'll be an interesting game. That'll be an interesting game to see. afternoon slate. This is my game of the week. Niners at Rams. It's my game of the week because the NFC West is the tightest division in football, literally. The leader of this NFC West, Everett, the Seattle Seahawks, who are the only team above 500 in the NFC West, who are at 4-3. Second place, Rams, 3-3. Third place and fourth place, Niners and Cardinals tied at 3-4. So 4-3, 3-3, 3-4, 3-4. Not much difference between those teams.
No,
so Niners at Rams. This is game of the week. This is game of the week. Everybody's tuning into this. This is must watch TV. Winner of this, good chance of winning the division. Good chance of winning or building a solid lead right now in the division. Personally, I got the Niners winning this game. I just think they match up quite well.
Agree with that.
I think they match up pretty well with the Rams. The Rams O-line sucks balls.
CMC also has had a full week to integrate into the 49ers system, learn all the plays. I know I'm
not even thinking about that much. I'm just thinking about how horrible the Rams
also, the 49ers have owned the Rams in LA for the last couple of years, especially last year.
I knew it was something like that. Like Kyle Shanahan, like they all have such interesting, like everyone dominates each other in certain circumstances in the NFC West. Like I'm pretty sure like the Rams just destroy the Cardinals like every time they play or something. I don't know, but it's something like that. But yeah, give me the Niners over the Rams in this. And then another very interesting game. Everett, the 6-1 Giants are taking on the 4-3 Seahawks. Seahawks 3-point favorites in this game.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were the dogs.
Which I thought that the Giants probably would have been favored just because of all that steam. But the Seahawks.
So let me say, I'm not gonna lie, I did take Seattle in this game. I thought they were dogs,
as well.
I thought that it would be a great upset game. But now the fact that the Giants are underdogs almost makes me want to switch to them.
But this is Vegas.
I'm not
to take the Giants.
I'm not. But I am sticking with Seahawks.
But it's like they're begging you to take Giants +3.
It's also just because on paper you look at the Seahawks roster. Actually, DK Metcalf is out. Did not think about that. You look at the Seahawks. I don't
really care.
You look at the Seahawks roster and you're like, oh, there's no way they're going to be good.
Seattle's just,
but they are good. They are good.
Like Seattle's actually united that fan base. Like I low-key think they all just hate Russ. And I truly think Pete Carroll hates Russell Wilson with his life because the way their offense is cooking, like their team is just unreal right now. The Seahawks, they also absolutely smashed their draft class. There were like a bunch of guys I'd never heard of against the Chargers last week, and they were just dominating. I was like, who the hell are these people? And of course, Kenneth Walker is just goated. Fantasy league winner, by the way. Like if you got Kenneth Walker, and most people got him pretty late, I'm assuming. Like that's a potential league winner right there. But yeah, in my opinion, Giants train, the fun train ends here. I don't know if New York can keep up with like Seattle's offense, which I cannot believe I'm saying with Geno Smith as their quarterback. Like they are rolling. They're just rolling on offense.
I would have never ever thought that was the case going into this.
Like it was very weird when I dropped Russell Wilson for Geno Smith in fantasy a couple weeks ago. Like I never thought I'd be doing that in week like 5 of the season.
Like,
man, this league, man, you know, it's the greatest entertainment ever. You got to tune in every week. You got to know what's going on, you know? Okay. Last game I'm very interested in, Monday night, Sunday night, Packers Bills. Maybe you're interested in that, but I'm not.
I'm trying to find something on that game right now. I remember, but go ahead while I'm looking for this.
So Monday night, 4-3 Bengals taking on the 2-5 Browns in Cleveland. Bengals are 3.5 point favorites. And I'm going to be picking the Bengals later, but I low-key really think the Browns are going to win this. I could be wrong on this, but I remember seeing something saying like the Browns are like dominant against the Bengals, like in Cleveland, or just like are just dominant against the Bengals in general. Since Joe Burrow might be 0-4 against the Browns.
He might be, but I don't
know. But I could be wrong on that. I don't know, but I just think this is so much momentum towards the Bengals. Browns do suck ass. They are bad. But like it's the NFL and it's just a division game. Throw everything out the window. I kind of like the Browns here a lot.
I don't agree with that. Joe Burrow just absolutely slaughtered a team on national television last week.
So would you say that's a big emotional win?
No. No, not when you're already expected to win. I would not say. I would say even more so. That gives you more momentum going last week. You're feeling yourself right now.
Okay.
I just think that the Browns, they're coming off an emotional loss. Like they're pissed off, right? Like I get that. Whatever. Your starting quarterback still Jacoby Brissett. Like I'm not overly concerned.
True.
Also, you're putting Denzel Ward up against Jamar Chase. Denzel Ward, I don't really know how he's been doing, but even then you got to deal with T. Higgins, then you got to deal with Tyler Boyd. Don't forget Joe Mixon.
Came at Denzel Ward.
Then you got to remember that Joe
call
Mixon.
Out right away.
Who else besides Denzel Ward do they have?
No, but I mean,
in the secondary.
But I mean, he's like good.
No, he is good, but I more meant it as like that's the only secondary player of note that they have.
But the way you said it, you were like Denzel Ward against Jamar Chase.
Besides, I know, but besides Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, and Jadeveon Clowney, who do they have?
I wouldn't even put Clowney in there. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just like it's just a divisional game and just shit's gonna happen. Very, very interesting fact though. The Bengals have not given up a touchdown in the second half this year.
Wait, really?
The Bengals have not given up a touchdown in the second half this year.
So that really sucks because they've managed to lose their first 2 games of the year. like I don't know how they managed to do that.
Like I guess just phenomenal halftime adjustments. Just buckle the fuck down, boys. I don't know, but that's just absurd considering they played 7 games.
Yeah. I think the Bengals are going to win this game easily. Like, I think that it's not like, I think that it's going to be absolute destruction on national television.
I think this
Browns. Right, pick the Browns. Pick the Browns. Pick the Browns.
I said I'm not, but hey, if I was a betting man, give me the points. Give me the Browns plus.
No.
Okay. All right. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens.
3.5 is incredibly juicy.
We'll see what happens. Nobody thought the Panthers were going to shit on the Bucs, and I'm ready for you to say, well, I expected it.
No, I agree. I did not think the Panthers were going to shit on the Bucs. I don't like it.
I was kind of getting ready for you. Nope. I knew it was going to happen. Well,
I knew it was going to happen.
Hey, I'm just saying, hey, that game.
I also didn't think that the Packers were going to get shit on by the commies, but now we know that Green Bay really does suck ass, and so does Aaron Rodgers. And it is incredible because the entire Packers fan base now is imploding because they are not good for once in 30 years and don't have sustainable quarterback play after this year. So it's just beautiful.
Yeah, no, damn beautiful. But okay, I'm about to go over all my picks now. Bucs, Broncos, Falcons, Cowboys, Dolphins, Vikings, Raiders, Patriots, Eagles, Titans, Colts, Niners, Seahawks, Bills, Bengals.
Okay. Mine's a little bit out of order because Vikings are prioritized on my list because what? Yeah, you did. Okay. Yeah, you did say Colts. My list is a little out of order because Vikings are prioritized on my ESPN list, which is where I got it from. But regardless, here are my winners. Ravens, Vikings, Jaguars, Panthers, Cowboys, Dolphins, Raiders, Jets, Eagles, Titans, Commies, 49ers, Seahawks, Bills, Bengals. You like my little Panthers pick there?
In my opinion, that fun train is so dead. They just won their Super Bowl after last week.
But you know what? The Vikings also won their Super Bowl week 1, and we're 5-1. So I mean,
well, I don't think it is the Super Bowl because
no. Packer fans are pretty damn assured that it was the Vikings Super Bowl apparently. So whenever
well,
you win,
you know that.
Oh no, I do know the truth, but I mean,
but the Panthers beating the Bucs last week after McCaffrey gone, like the team starting the tank mode. That is your Super Bowl. That is the Super Bowl for that's
I don't know why
as it gets.
I have a sneaking suspicion Steve Wilkes is not actually going to be trying to tank because he might be trying to coach for a job.
No,
so he might not be tanking.
We'll see, but I mean, I think the Falcons. They might
don't get me wrong. Falcons.
I mean, the Panthers do suck ass. Like,
the Falcons are not as bad as people actually think they are. However, I think Marcus Mariota really does suck, and Desmond Ridder needs to start if they want any chance of doing anything this year because they're still competitive in the NFC South because the NFC South sucks ass. But if they want to win it, they need to put Ridder in.
South's awful.
They got to put Ridder in. You can't keep starting Marcus Mariota. My man's got a noodle arm.
Every team in the NFC South is below 500. So, I think that is the only division. Yep, only division.
Fun fact, by the way,
teams under 500 that belongs to the NFC South. So,
fun fact, by the way, I don't know if it's still the case after last week, because I found this tweet, I think before the games, but the Vikings are currently posed to play the Rams in the playoffs in the wild card game. And I would feel like there would be no better team to play against than the Rams, unless it's the Saints, but then the Rams in the playoffs.
Rams would be a juicy matchup for the Vikings.
It would be cake.
Great storylines.
It'd be cake.
Hey, yeah, it'll be cake. Let's hope you're right because I
Kevin
mean
O'Connell knows that team inside out.
The playoff playoff track record for the Vikings has not been great, but hey, this year it's different for you. You know what? I love your optimism. Well, I actually don't because I'm fuck optimism. But hey,
well, yeah, Mr. Negative fan over there.
I know Vikings are gonna get fucking shit pumped in NFC Championship game at best, in my opinion, before. But hey, we're neither here nor there. When it comes to wait, who's the other team? Panthers?
Huh?
What the fuck? Where were we just talking about?
What? Wait. What? Are you talking about
my
what team
brain just went out what were you just talking about before the Vikings? What
Oh, the Falcons putting in Ridder to win the NFC South.
That's what we were talking about. Wait, how the fuck did we get from that to the Vikings? What?
I said there was one thing that I saw out the other day.
Okay. Well, shit. I think that was a reasonable thing to not recognize that we went from Falcons to Vikings there. I was just so engaged with the Vikings content right there, Everett. Don't blame me for just being locked into the conversation, the present conversation. I don't have anything else on picks or anything, though. You're skull clapping over there. Okay. All right. Time to wrap it up.
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. Check out our YouTube channel. Trying to get us above 100 subscribers. Waterboy Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Waterboy Pod, on Twitter at Waterboy Pod. We post every Tuesday and Thursday new podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, on YouTube. You can find our clips on TikTok from these episodes. Please make sure to bring us on airplanes. We want to be Delta's personal podcast. Bring us up and down the aisles. Make sure everybody's subscribed, listening to us. We want 1,000 plays per plane ride. With that, Waterboy's out. Thank you so much.